I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, relax, dude. You're a work in progress. And what I want to talk about today is cutting yourself some slack, not taking yourself so goddamn seriously, not beating yourself up when your progress is not as fast as you would like. Because what I've learned, it's like whether you're starting an exercise program or you're just starting to, say, work on going to the mall to talk to women and improve your communication skills or just talk to people in general, is that you got to take little baby steps and you got to walk before you can run. And some people are just going to pick things up faster than others. And the idea is to go at your own pace and not take yourself so seriously and to get upset. And what I see with a lot of the guys that I work with, not only through the emails, but even my own phone coaching customers, is I spend a lot of time talking about limiting beliefs and listening to their self-talk, listening to the things that they say about themselves or how they perceive their success or lack of success that they're having and whatever it is they're trying to improve on and what the reason is for it. And for a lot of people, we all tend to have limiting beliefs that we tell ourselves or bullshit stories that we tell ourselves that say, oh, I don't deserve this, I'll never get that, or that person could never love me, or I could never have somebody like that. You know, it's interesting talking to guys sometimes, and we're going through things like the love letter exercise or how to attract the perfect woman, and just coming up with criteria, or just getting a guy to sit down and do that. He's like, oh, well, you know, because sometimes I'll walk guys through it, and then, you know, listening to them on the phone, they're like, oh, but there's nobody out there like that, and so I shouldn't put that down because that's ridiculous. I'm like, dude, there's 6.5 billion people on the planet. And just the fact that you have the idea that a woman with that particular quality is exactly what you're looking for, just the fact that you thought about it means more than likely there's probably somebody like that somewhere in the world. And to put it down. And so what a lot of guys do is they have these deep-seated beliefs that say, I don't deserve this, I don't deserve to be happy. And so this goes back to what I've talked about a lot, which is asking yourself good quality questions. Asking your business partners or your girlfriend or your wife or your best friend or anybody that you're in a relationship with, asking them good quality questions. Because if you ask good quality questions, you get good quality answers. If you walk around and you say, well, why does this shit always happen to me? Well, your brain has to come up with answers for that question. Well, okay, let's look at all the reasons why shit like this always happens. Oh, well, last week, you know, that person rear-ended you and somebody stole money from you and your lawn guy, you know, pissed you off. Your next door neighbor was cutting his lawn and then he, you know, ended up mowing half of the lawn on the side of your house and he took out a couple of your sprinkler heads in the process, so you're pissed about that. But, you know, these guys get focused on these things, and you know, guys that are unsuccessful with women, they tend to all do things, get involved with people that have low to no interest or that are simply unavailable. And they just waste a lot of their time because their belief is nobody could love me. And so they stay fixated. But I just got to get this person here. And if I could just use the right pickup line, if I could just stay committed long enough and chase them long enough, eventually they'll see what a great guy I am because they're the only person for me. And they stay fixated on what they can't have. And by staying fixated on what they can't have, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They don't believe that they deserve something like that. And so they stay fixated on what they can't have, and therefore nothing ever changes, and months and years of their life goes by, and they don't get any better, and they don't make any progress. And so when a guy like that comes across my work, and he starts applying it, you know, at times it can feel overwhelming. At times you can feel like, you know, it's like a simple thing like losing weight. You know, say you got to lose 50 pounds. Well, it's not something that's going to happen in 30 days. It's not something that's going to happen in 2 weeks or after 2 workouts. It's something that's going to happen after making a lot of very good, healthy choices on a daily basis for hundreds and hundreds of days in a row. It's little tiny goals and breaking it down and following through on that and realizing and finding a way that, like, when you go to bed at night and rest your head on your pillow, no matter what it is you're trying to improve or enhance in your life, is that, I mean, at the end of the night, you're putting your head down and go to sleep, the only thing you say is, hey, you know what, I did my very best today. If you could say I gave it my best effort, I did the best I could, I utilized my time in the best way that I could, then you go to sleep and say, you know what, tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's a brand new day, a clean slate, and I can try something new. And I can change my approach. If that doesn't work, I'll change my approach again. And I'll keep changing my approach until I eventually figure it out. So I get an email here from a guy who's in Australia. And he says, "Hey mate, I used to be a super fit guy, and because of my looks, I got away with many mistakes you talk about." I had a lot of buddies that I grew up with that came from fairly wealthy families. They were, successful families, and they were good-looking guys and girls, and it was just amazing watching them interact with other people, especially like women, because they would always skate on their really good looks. But it's after a couple of weeks, the chicks all realize that he ain't got it, or he's a mess, or he's needy, and because guys that have really good looks start, a lot of times when women meet them, they're going to have, say, interest level of 70-80% because of the handsomeness. So they can screw up a lot more than a regular, say, average guy like me could. I do one or two things wrong, and I'm out of there. But, a really good-looking dude, because he's just more handsome, he can maybe screw up 4 or 5 times before he gets rejected. And so he says, "I was married, and I'm 38 now. I'm doing very well with money, etc. I've started to date hot women, and I want to get back some fitness, but I seem to get emotional about this and lose track quickly. I had a bad split up and spent a long time trying to make a woman love me who was married, so I fucked up and wasted a few years. But it was also a positive business-wise. Do you think I need a motivational person like a trainer, or maybe is it more of a mental issue? I don't want to start to feel insecure if I meet the right woman and it becomes more long-term. I'm betting a few girls that are not to the standard that I want at the moment." And what I would say to you is that, number one, you're making progress. You're obviously applying what I teach, and I can tell from here that you're obviously getting some success with it. But you, at one point, just like you said, you used to be really healthy and in great shape. You probably gained a bunch of weight. I've got lots of buddies from high school that did that, and this shit happens. So the only thing you can do is, like, every day you have a choice. You can choose to eat healthy. You can choose to go to the gym and do the things that you need to do in order to get... Because if you were that way at one point in your life, it wasn't something that happened overnight. It was something you did over many days, many weeks, many months, and many years. And this is the type of thing where it's a long-term commitment. Getting in shape is not a short-term commitment. It's not a 30-day goal or a 3-month goal or a 6-month goal. It's a quality of life change. And what you got to learn to do is, at the end of the day, if your goal is to get to the point where you do 5 workouts a week. Well, if you get in 1 or 2, I was giving an example. I was talking to a client today who is putting together a band. He's always wanted to have a very successful band and be a very successful musician. But because he feels so down on himself, he's not been practicing like he has been. And so when I talked to him last week, I said, your goal is just to try to get 5 days of practice in a week. 5 days, voice lessons, or playing with your band, or just singing by yourself in your room, just practicing your craft. Because if you want to be one of the big entertainers, that's what these guys are, and they love what they do. They pick up a guitar or their drum kit or whatever it happens to be, and they're doing it because they have a passion for it. And that's what it takes to be successful at it. And so when I talked to him today, because this is this particular client I talk to every week, I asked him, and he practiced 3 days, twice on his own and once with his band. And so it wasn't the full 5, but it was more days that he practiced than the week before. And I said, awesome. Well, when we talk next week, try to make it 4 days of practice this week. And so that's what he's going to do. He's going to work on that, and he's doing the same thing. He's trying to party less and drink less, take better care of himself, work out, be healthy. Do things that successful, healthy people do, because in anything you're going to be successful in life, the idea is that you want to, look at professional athletes. What do they say all the time? It's like after every game, how'd you do it? The NBA playoffs are going on right now. And they'll ask, it's like all the reporters ask the same fucking questions of these guys. Every game, same shit. And they all say the same thing. It's like, I'm just trying to get a little bit better each day. As a teammate and as an athlete, I'm trying to get a little bit better today than I was yesterday. In any sport, at any level, that is the focus of a professional athlete. And you as a man trying to become more successful, to lose weight, to become more successful with women, the idea is to practice this stuff every day because repetition's a mother of skill. And so over the course of, say, 12 months, if you're at least trying to work out several days a week and you make it, I mean, over the course of the year, you're literally working out hundreds of times. And that adds up over time if you're making the right dietary choices. Again, it's something that happens every day. Every day you're making a choice. Every moment, moment by moment, you're making a choice. And you're going to get there when you get there. If you're just starting out creating a business of yours, or you've got this business that you've had for 4 years now and it ain't made you any money yet, but you still have a passion for it and you believe you can figure it out, your success may be 10 years away. How are you going to handle, knowing that, potentially dealing with that, you got to learn to manage your psychology and your state to realize that it's just literally, it's like chipping away every day. I don't know if you've ever seen the statue called the David that Michelangelo did. It's this giant block of a man that was actually started by another artist, and he was hired to finish it. This thing's like a couple stories tall. It's just gigantic. And this thing's carved out of marble, and it's totally finely polished like it came out of a mold. And it's amazing because of the detail. I mean, it's marble, and this thing was chipped away with just a simple hammer and a chisel. And somebody was admiring Michelangelo's statue one time. This is back when he was still alive. And he's like, how the hell did you fucking do that? That is just incredible that a human being could make something like that of a block of marble. And he just simply said, well, David was already in there. I just chipped away the excess. And so look at yourself as a David in process of becoming. And right now, what you do every day, whether it's going to the mall and practicing talking to strangers to develop your social skills, or it's going to the gym, or trying to get a better job, or starting that business on the side, no matter what it is, the idea is you want to try to chip away the excess. You want to get a little bit better today. Try to find out the things that aren't going to work, because the more things that you try the more things you learn that don't work. And so the more things you learn that don't work, the more things you can try that you haven't tried yet. And over time and over the years, eventually you learn a little enough. It's like my business model. I learned everything that works now and makes it profitable was little bits and pieces of stuff that I've learned over the years that at the time, maybe when I learned it, wasn't really that valuable. But as things coalesced and became, got closer and closer to becoming profitable towards the break-even point, it's all those little things. You combine them because you get a little bit of a success here and a little bit of success there. And when you combine those little bits together, cumulatively, they add up to one big giant success. But it's something that comes with time. And so the idea, don't take yourself so seriously. Don't get down on yourself. Just give the day the best effort that you can. And when it's time to go to bed, lay your head on your pillow at night and just say, I gave it my best fucking shot. Tomorrow's another day. I'll try to do even better tomorrow. Try to get a little bit better each day than you were yesterday. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the bottom of your screen if you're watching this video on my website, and click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located in the Wibbia toolbar at the bottom of your screen. And if you have a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic that you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, send me 3 to 4 paragraphs max detailing your situation by clicking the Contact Me tab, which is on the left-hand side of your screen. And you just got to give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of email from my paying phone coaching customers. And I obviously got to concentrate on their emails first, but be patient and I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away so I can help you with a challenge or a specific situation you need help with, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.